welcome back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in politics, there are no permanent friends or enemies, only permanent interests. And that's what makes politics so vibrant and unpredictable. You can never quite predict what's going to happen next, and that's exactly what the Bharatiya Janata Party did. While it was still deliberating on a site for a memorial for the late Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, it shocked everyone by deciding instead to build a memorial for his former Congress colleague, late ex-President Pranab Mukherjee. The party has earmarked a specific site within the Rashtriya Smriti complex, which is a part of the Rajghat precinct, for Pranab Mukherjee's memorial. And while Pranab Mukherjee's daughter is deeply touched by the Prime Minister's gesture, the Congress party is up in arms. It has accused the BJP of ulterior motives behind the memorial, with the Congress leader Danish Ali even alleging that the honour is being given to Dr. Pranab Mukherjee because of his love for the Sangh. Now remember, after the passing of Dr. Manmohan Singh on 26 December, the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge had written to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi requesting that Dr. Singh's last rites be performed at a site where his memorial could be erected. The Congress had even criticised the centre, questioning why the government couldn't find a suitable location for the former Prime Minister's cremation and memorial. However, the BJP had hit back, saying that it was ironic that the Congress party was reminding the government about traditions but had never built a memorial for former Prime Minister Narasimha Rao, and this while his grandson had been demanding for the same. So then, why are tributes being viewed through the political lens? Why are they being turned into political tools? And I'm putting these questions to my esteemed guest, Ms. Sharmistha Mukherjee, the daughter of late Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee and the former President. But first, listen in to who said what.
Being son, I am very happy, and I convey my sincere thanks to the government also. Government is being headed by Mr. Modi, and the best part that this government is honoring all old Congress stalwarts. All old Congress stalwarts like Dr. Manmohan Singh, followed by Pitaji. I wish it could have been happened earlier also.
ये बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि कांग्रेस के इतने वरिष्ठ नेता और सांसद ने प्रणब मुखर्जी के ऊपर में इस प्रकार की टिप्पणी की है। और क्या ये उचित है? किस कारण पे उन्होंने ऐसी टिप्पणी की? क्योंकि नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने तय किया कि प्रणब मुखर्जी उनके लिए एक स्मारक बनना चाहिए। प्रणब मुखर्जी वो व्यक्ति है जिन्होंने देश की सेवा कई दशकों तक की, ऐसे रूप से की कि उनके लिए इज्जत हर राजनीतिक दल में थी। भारत के राष्ट्रपति बने, उनके लिए एक स्मारक बने और उसके ऊपर में इस प्रकार की टिप्पणी एक कांग्रेस के नेता करे, इससे यह स्पष्ट हो जाता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की विचारधारा केवल एक परिवार केंद्रित है।
And joining me right now is Ms. Sharmistha Mukherjee, who really needs no introduction. She is the daughter of former President Dr. Pranab Mukherjee and a former politician who has now decided to abstain from active politics. Good evening, Ms. Mukherjee. Thank you for taking our time and joining us here at Mirror Now. Ms. Mukherjee, at the very outset, I'd like to ask you, what do you make of this discourse, the demand for a memorial? You've heard the political narrative, you've heard the reactions coming in. How do you view this discourse that is brewing in the country right now? Do you feel there is any merit in this, or do you feel this is unnecessary controversy being created?
It is, for me, a totally unnecessary controversy that is being created. What is the scope of controversy? You know, the Congress party demanded a memorial for Dr. Manmohan Singh, and rightly so. Dr. Manmohan Singh deserves a memorial. He was a two-term Prime Minister, an architect of the growth story of India, a world-renowned economist, a highly dignified gentleman. So a demand for his memorial is completely justified. But what I read in the news that the BJP government immediately responded and said positively to that news, and they listened to the request, and they said that a memorial space would be earmarked for Dr. Manmohan Singh. So where is the scope of controversy in this? And now my father has been, who was not only a stalwart leader of Congress for 5 decades, he was also the President of India. And he has been, our government has very graciously, Sri Narendra Modi ji has personally taken this initiative to honor his memory by assigning him a space for a memorial. So what is the controversy in this? I think Congress should have welcomed it with open arms, saying that the BJP government is honoring Congress. So the credit should go to Congress for Congress's contribution in a way. So rather than that, Congress is trying to denigrate and humiliate its own leaders. So that is what I find most bizarre, most absurd in this whole discourse. That instead of welcoming it, instead of welcoming honor being bestowed upon one of its most stalwart leaders, Congress is trying to humiliate his legacy. Congress is trying to humiliate his memory. And not only that, I mean, my father was also a former president of India. So it is also an insult to the institution of the President of India. There has been memorials built in honor of presidents of India. So does Congress want to say that Pranab Mukherjee, the former president of India, do not deserve a memorial? Are they trying to say that? So this is an insult to the memory of my father, and this is an insult to the institution of the President of India. The Congress needs to answer for this.
Absolutely, Ms. Mukherjee. Dr. Manmohan Singh was as much a leader of the Congress party as Dr. Pranab Mukherjee was, and he held high offices. Both these leaders held high offices, and both of them deserve the honor that the country or the government wants to bestow upon them. But do you feel that timing is something that has drawn the ire of the Congress party, that while there was a demand on the Congress party's end for a memorial for Dr. Manmohan Singh, that is the time at which the memorial was announced for Dr. Pranab Mukherjee. But was there any demand from the Congress party's end for a memorial for Dr. Pranab Mukherjee? Anything to your knowledge, Ms. Mukherjee?
Samia, you have answered the question for me. If Congress is questioning the timing, I would like to counter question Congress that why didn't they demand a memorial for my father, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, who was nominated for presidential candidate by Congress party, who was, my father was president for 5 years, but for 45 years, he was a senior leader of Congress party. Why didn't Congress demand a memorial for him? And why, forget about demanding a memorial, Congress did not even pass a formal, as per protocol, Congress did not even pass a formal condolence message from CWC. Yes, there were individual condolence messages. I received a very nice letter from Sonia Gandhi ji herself. But there is a difference between individual condolences and an institutional condolences. A person who had been associated with CWC for nearly 30 years, why a CWC meeting through Zoom? Because that was the COVID time. But why wasn't a CWC meeting through Zoom was convened to pass a condolence message? And I mean, so they did not even bother to pass an institutional condolence message. So I think it is even, my stupidity to ask them question that why didn't they ask for a memorial for him? But yes, this is a very legitimate question, that why didn't they ask for a memorial for Mr. Pranab Mukherjee? Why didn't they ask for it?
Absolutely. Very pertinent question over there, Ms. Mukherjee. How was your meeting with the Prime Minister Modi? Because, the letter, the communication about the memorial being set up for the former president was conveyed to you, but you almost kept it under wraps till the official announcement was made. Take us through how was your meeting with the Prime Minister, because there were definitely reactions from the political circuit where they were saying that this is a differential treatment meted out to Dr. Pranab Mukherjee because he was leaning towards the Sangh. What do you make of it?
This whole controversy, and I think this tendency of current Rahul Congress is, try to denigrate their own leaders, try to humiliate the memory of their own leaders and their contribution, is just pushing people away. They should realize this. Let me take you through the whole journey that my father always used to say that state honors, which of course include a state memorial, it should never be asked for, it should always be offered. So as a family, from family, we never pursued this. We never wrote any letter to the Prime Minister or his office or to the government requesting this. And my father received so much during his lifetime, the respect and love from the people of India, the respect across party line. So, I think for us that was a great honor. So, we did not pursue this. So, on 1st January, I received this letter from Urban Development Ministry formally notifying me. But a few days before that, I received a call from PMO asking me that if the family has ever written a letter or made any request for a memorial for my father. So I said, no, we have not. So that is the time it was told to me that, while they will declare Dr. Manmohan Singh's memorial, so that is the time, simultaneously they will declare for Baba also. So anyway, on 1st January, I received this letter, and in this, I was being my father's daughter, that till the time it was officially declared, I thought it's not right from my side to declare it. And in the meanwhile, I also sought an appointment from the Prime Minister's office to go and meet him and convey my gratitude personally. So yesterday when I went to meet him, I was asked that I can tweet. And nobody told this to me, but I felt, not through my conversation with the Prime Minister, but in general, through some other, that for some reason, so far, I think Dr. Manmohan Singh's, you need a consent letter, a formal consent letter from the family. So that formal consent letter hasn't come as yet from Dr. Manmohan Singh's family. And that is why perhaps they're not declaring it. And in the meanwhile, they wanted me to go ahead and declare it. So I don't think there is any politics involved in this. There are certain technicalities involved in this. And Dr. Manmohan Singh's his family, if they haven't sent their consent letter as yet, I would personally ascribe it to just the grief. At the moment, they must be absolutely immersed in grief. They have lost, Mrs. Kaur has lost her husband. His daughters have lost their father. So this is not the time to politicize. And Dr. Manmohan Singh and his family are extremely dignified people. To politicize such things, the timing, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I think it's absolutely immature. And this kind of reaction is not expected from the so-called grand old party, Indian National Congress. Perhaps their leaders just don't know how to formulate a proper party line, and that's why they think by insulting, by humiliating somebody, they are going to be appreciated by the current dispensation, by the current leadership, and that perhaps shows. I don't even feel like calling this party Indian National Congress, but this is the rot in Rahul Congress.
Well, Ms. Mukherjee, you're right to say that this, in a sense, is a disservice as far as all these political reactions that are coming in when a memorial is being announced for Dr. Pranab Mukherjee. They are forgetting about the years that he has contributed as a Congress leader. He was Congress a person at heart. But before I let go of you, I won't take much of your time. The election season is here in the national capital. Of course, you have abstained from the electoral process, from active politics. But what do you make of the present situation in the national capital? Because you were a Congress leader, you even contested from Delhi for that matter. But now, of course, the Congress party has decided to come forth with schemes. They have spoken against the reveries of the Aam Aadmi Party, but we pretty much see the Congress party towing the same line. They have announced the Pyari Didi Yojana of 2,500 rupees, and now, of course, the Jeevan Raksha Yojana of 25 lakh rupees. Do you think these schemes that are being announced by the Congress party is going to change the fortune of the Congress party in the national capital, while we see Rahul Gandhi abstaining from the campaigns in the national capital?
Samia, I would not like to comment on that because, I have quit active politics, and so I don't think, I wouldn't like to comment on that. But only thing I would like to say, not just as a former Congress leader, but as a resident of Delhi and as a voter of Delhi, that, Mr. Kejriwal has done great disservice, and it is a betrayal of the people of Delhi. The way the Aam Aadmi Party leader created a sheesh mahal for himself, the way he betrayed the faith of the people of Delhi in the last 10 years, we have seen that the whole Delhi is just going down the drains. There is no new infrastructure, not even the maintenance of the infrastructure created by Congress Chief Minister Srimati Sheila Dikshit ji. So, Mr. Kejriwal is, I think, one of the greatest, I wouldn't like to use the word fraud, but yes, essentially, yes. He has betrayed the people of Delhi and he must go. If Congress can do that, Congress can remove him and come back to power in Delhi. All the best to them, and especially to Sandeep Dikshit, who is fighting against Mr. Kejriwal. My personal best wishes are for him. But otherwise, whether it's Congress or whether it's BJP, I personally want the Aam Aadmi Party to be finished in this election. They do not deserve a third chance.
Absolutely, Ms. Mukherjee. Thank you so much for taking our time and joining us over here and sharing your views on the issues that matter to the country. And